Sparta was not a normal Greek city-state. From the 7th century BCE onward, it functioned less like a city and more like a permanent military camp. A small ruling class of full Spartan citizens called Spartiates controlled a vastly larger enslaved population known as Helots. Because the Helots outnumbered them many times over, Sparta lived in constant fear of rebellion. Military dominance and internal control were not choices. They were necessities. To survive, Sparta created the Agoge state-run education system mandatory for all male citizens. Its purpose was not learning in the modern sense, but conditioning, to produce disciplined hoplites who would never break formation in battle. At age 7, Spartan boys were taken from their families and placed into agili, or herds. They lived communally under the supervision of older youths and state officials. Family bonds were deliberately weakened. Loyalty to Sparta replaced loyalty to parents. They were trained to speak briefly and precisely, what we now call laconic speech. To speak too much was weakness. Silence, control, and obedience were strength. Food was intentionally limited. Boys were encouraged to steal to survive, but punished severely if caught. The lesson wasn't morality. It was competence under pressure. At the sanctuary of Artemis Orthia, Spartan youths endured ritual flogging before crowds. Ancient writers like Plutarch described contests of endurance meant to prove pain tolerance and self-control. Historians debate how often deaths occurred, but the brutality of the ritual is undisputed. Despite the myth, Spartans were also trained in music, poetry, and dance, not for art, but for war. The hoplite phalanx depended on rhythm and coordination. One man out of step could collapse the entire formation. The Agoge was designed to erase individuality. It produced one of the most disciplined military societies in history, but at the cost of personal freedom. Sparta famously claimed it needed no walls. In reality, military discipline was the wall. So here's the question. Would you survive the Agoge, or would it break you?